What's up, guys? Decano here. I wanted to kind of go over this build I've been playing around with in Path of Exile 2. I picked up this chest piece, Doryani's prototype, and after, enchanting it or corrupting it, it hit increased armor and evasion. I was like, well, okay, so it's not that bad armor. And the key thing with this is your lightning resistance doesn't affect lightning damage taken, and enemies in your presence have lightning resistance equal to yours. So I got to pondering this. I picked it up while I was playing a different character. And so I started pondering the way that I could utilize this to its fullest advantage. And what I ended up doing is I've picked up a couple of rings that have negative lightning resistance. I screwed up along the leveling path and picked up like the twin sisters that raised my lightning resistance by 10. So that would, I think, be 131 if I hadn't picked up any of the resistance modifiers while leveling. What this effectively does is just massively increases the damage enemies take when they get near me. I tried running the increased presence area of effect, and that wasn't bad, but I ended up slotting a jewel to just boost that by 24% and increase my crit and spell damage, or cast speed. The build at first was doing pretty well as I was leveling up. When I hit 64 and I equipped those rings, the damage spike was tremendous. The modifiers I've got on my gear, I only have 3519 armor because I'm running hybrid armor and energy shield. And I made sure to pick up all of the armor applies to elemental damage mods that I could, and made sure that none of my gear has lightning resist on it. This one here, I probably should swap out this mana regenerate for more armor because that'd give a big boost. But basically got as much life as I could because I'm playing Blood Mage, and tried to kind of boost my mana regenerate because I do still spend mana on skills that are not arc. And we're only running a +2 spell skill focus with really bad energy shield, but it's what I could find that was affordable. The movement speed, initially I was going with the option of you do more damage while on shocked ground, and was wearing, while leveling, the unique boots here. What is it? Shock. I think it's those, yeah. You drop shock ground while moving, lasting 8 seconds. So in the passive tree, while leveling, I was doing great because they have a little bit of armor, but the big thing is the shock ground increased my damage, and I had the passive skills to increase my damage if I was standing on shock ground, so it was pretty good. But I hit a point where I was getting one-shotted by anything that did lightning damage because I didn't mitigate enough of it. Because the lightning resistance doesn't affect damage taken. It's basically I'm treated as having 0 resist. With exception to mana drain monsters. Apparently their aura does a lightning damage over time that is not considered a hit. So if a fast-moving mana drainer spawns, unless you can get through the aura radius really quickly and get close to them to stay inside of their circle, you are going to get one-shotted by this. I mean, it's literally like 2,500 damage a second, and I've only got 2,200 life. I'm sure that there are mechanisms in the game that can allow you to have more life than this, but using Doryani's prototype, the whole point is see how much lightning damage you could do with it. My skill gems Pretty straightforward. Arc is my main attack. That's only a level 19 gem. And as soon as I got 65, I equipped Bloodletting so that I gained extra physical damage per 10 life. The life cost on this is now 942 because of the supports that I have slotted. So that's a lot of extra damage as physical. This scales based on how much lightning damage you do as well, because of the passive tree for Blood Mage. But I skilled Lightning Mastery, Shock to increase the chance of shock because you can do more lightning damage to them, or damage in general. Considered casting and inevitable critical. While I was leveling, I was doing the critical, what the hell is it called? Crit. Pinpoint critical. So as I was leveling, I was using pinpoint, and I was at 100% crit chance, and it was fine. But as I get into in-game bosses, and maps now have more hit points than Arbiter. It's ludicrous how much health they have. Some of them, if you get a mob that or a mod on your map that is like bosses or monsters have 48% more life, and then your Atlas tree amps the effects of your waystones, you can have a boss that's got double their life pool or more. And I've seen the map bosses with like 12 million life, and that's doable, but it takes a while. This isn't a lightning arrow ranger I'm playing here. But just quickly going over the gear. What I'm using is extra fire, extra lightning, increased lightning and lightning skills. Critical spell damage bonus is kind of the key. And increased cast speed is really helpful because I'm using some things that slow me down. For the helm, armor, energy shield, extra life, strength for more life, crit chance, and elemental damage is mitigated by armor. The shield, much the same. Spell damage is actually quite a good improvement on damage. I wish I had something better, but increased lightning damage, increased spell damage, good mods to have. Critical hit chance, and area of effect is not great because the spell doesn't really do that much area of effect. I've got I've got the curse, I got the orb of storms. Flame wall, those count for area of effect, but honestly, most of the time the monsters that I'm killing are going to be dead by the arc before too much time passes. The amulet I'm running, I went with increased armor, increased global defenses, level of spell skills, life, and strength, and the cold resist was just to push me over the cap. I'm using 2 Venter's Gambles, just basically what I could afford, less than 1 Divine for each, because when people see negative resistance, most of the time they price it lower. This one also has very low spirit and not the greatest rarity. My helm, while I was leveling, had nowhere near this armor. It was like half of that, but it had the 29 rarity, so that helped a lot with getting good drops. I'm only at 59 rarity now, I believe. For belt armor, it enchanted with increased armor, so that was a must equip. Basically, I think I searched the marketplace and searched specifically for percentage increased armor, flat armor on it, life, and chaos resist, because chaos was doing a lot of damage, especially from abyssal mobs. So my chaos is at 52 right now because of the soul core on the boots, and I've got a double soul core on the focus. For gloves, critical damage bonus. You can't get critical hit there. Fire resistance to push me over the cap. I wanted to get more life, but this is what I could afford, what I could find. Anything higher life than this with those affixes was like 3 to 4 divines, and I've played 6 characters now in this league, and equipping them all gets really expensive. For charms, I run the unique bleed charm, staunching charm rather. The unique stone to defend with more armor if I get stunned, and basically just thawing, a random thawing shard. I searched the marketplace and found this flask for, I want to say it was about 100 exalts for this one. 67% increased charges is the threshold. 70 is as high as it can roll, but 67 is the threshold where you hit the 125 mark, and that rolls the percentage bonus on the Blood Mage skill here to give you a 50% extra physical damage for 3 seconds when you consume a full flask. If you go 66% on your flask, it's at 49.8, so there's a gap there for several percent. As you can see, the path that I chose here, I went with spell damage leeches life, amount of life leached, of course, critical hit, base crit, and critical damage bonus per 50 life. That does not show up on the tooltip, but basically 1,000 life gives 20% critical damage bonus. And for right now, my critical damage bonus is 380%. So it's actually like 420 from just my life pool. A little more than that, actually. 424. The damage that I'm doing, I spent a lot of time fiddling with the passive tree and figuring out where the sweet spot would be. If I switch to the pinpoint critical, my damage bonus drops significantly, like 270%, because it reduces your crit by a multiplicative 30%. So really the idea here is get as much lightning damage as you can. That is amplified by the enemies having negative resists. So the tooltip doesn't reflect that. It's actually about a little more than double this amount. The physical damage goes up because the spell did more damage, and you're actually doing about 120,000 damage per hit when the tooltip shows that. Survivability has been the issue for this build so far. It was great until I hit about level 77 or so, and that's when the value of armor just keeps depreciating as you go higher in level. When I was 64 through 78 or so, the mitigation from my armor was more than enough to keep me alive, except for mana drain mobs, to just blast everything, and I almost never died. And when I started juicing up tier 15 maps, and things have penetration, it can hurt, but it's survivable. But I don't have fast enough energy shield, so I've got to kind of figure that out. It's like maybe sacrifice some damage to get a little more survivability. Like move across here and pick up energy shield recharge rate and faster start. That could be an option. This increased energy shield I just picked up recently, I was only at like 2,000. So I picked up 300 by picking up these nodes here. I picked up a Time Lost Sapphire here to give increased critical chance from notables. I was up here using increased damage for ailments, but I wasn't seeing a lot of chill or ignite on the mobs because I'm not doing that much fire damage, and chill only fires when I do frost bomb. And it's okay, but it doesn't hit every time, oddly. Even though I'm putting on exposure, that doesn't count as chill, so it's not an ailment. So I dropped that one. So basically, crit chance, crit bonus is kind of my big thing. The crit bonus, I'm only at 92% with Arc and the Inevitable. So you can see down here, 62% is where I'm at without it. And it's like one every 2 casts or every 2 hits will crit. Great. But over time, if I haven't critted yet, I'll keep stacking up multiplier chance until I reach 92%. And that's a pretty good chance. So the damage starts scaling up as soon as I get into combat. So the tooltip will change because of things like this one, and this one, and that one. And there are a few things in the board that help with that. I picked up these to give myself a higher cap on the lightning damage that I do. Arc is a projectile, and I tried around a few different passives on the tree, and because I didn't have any projectile mods yet on any of my equipment, this ended up being a much larger boost in power and damage, at least on the tooltip, when I picked these up versus bonus or lightning damage up here. Because these are additive bonuses, and I've got increased lightning damage on my wand, and I've got increased lightning damage on my shield. Between the two of them, I'm already sitting at 140 or so extra increased damage. So if you stack 140 with plus 12, that brings you to 152, obviously. But percentage-wise of the overall damage being done, that results in less total damage increase than adding a new affix that's a separate multiplier additively. That gives you, 15, 25, 35, 45%. 45% as a separate multiplier on top of the damage that you're doing is better than going from 140 to 160 because of the way that the numbers calculate. Let's see here. This gem here is, I was running bleeding for a bit from the Blood Mage, and I put bleed on Arc, and it worked okay. It was doing about 10,000 damage per tick from the tooltip on the top end, but and it was really good for those situations where you almost finish a mob off and it has energy shield and it just bleeds right through it, dead. The gameplay is fairly straightforward, and I'll give you just grab a random waste in here. Make sure you don't have any mods that are absolutely going to destroy you. They do extra damage, just fire. They get stun, reduce flash charges. Okay, whatever. I'm only going to run 4 affixes because I do die. It could also be a skills issue. I kind of suck. Here's one. It says map in progress. Did I? Oh, yeah, I must have failed that one. I'll just jump into another one because it's got increased experience on some of these maps. Yeah, so increased experience. Okay, go. My chair is not very comfortable. I need a new one. All right, let's see what kind of bonus we got. We didn't double the mod on experience gain, so only 58%. So they have 155% stun buildup. Okay, well, not bad. Not great rarity, but I'm not running rarity. I'm running experience. So we'll zoom out a little bit.
I can create better.
So this had a little hitch there. The chaining is not bad. So as you can see, I was at 193,000 on the tooltip there. It scales up pretty well. Whoa! What the hell? Oh, I think he stunned me. Nope, wrong button. Ooh, I'm hitching something fierce. My hard drive might be getting full. But when you pick up the infusions, the damage scales up really well. And this is kind of the gameplay. It can be a one-button play, but I tend to throw in a frost bomb now and then, and lightning orb, or orb of storms rather. Let's see. Okay, we got an abyss and a bunch of ranged monsters. My game is hitching. Make sure it's not my. See, I just lost all my energy shield. I'll hit. What is it called? Convalescence. Yeah, I've got some gameplay things. My hard drive is probably getting full because I'm running on an SSD. But once they get above about 80% capacity, they. Whoa! That was close. It's almost unplayable because of the hitching.
I need more time.
But you get the idea. Energy shield recharge is so slow. Tater's pegged out. And I missed. See that? Right next to him. Boop. So, yeah, the damage tooltip doesn't reflect the damage that you get from consuming sorry. It doesn't reflect the damage that you get from the crit bonus of life for some reason. But it does reflect the damage when you get the buff from consuming your charges or your flasks. Pretty good clear, as you can see, and I really suck in general. I'm not a very good player, but I enjoy the theory crafting of things. Very rarely does a monster survive more than 2 hits, if it survives at all, on the first. And there it was. I had a little bit of a hitch there, but I was already out of energy shield. My life was at half from casting. So it's like, okay, this is a viable build for just in general. But for hardcore in-game mapping, it's not very effective. I think that in order to make the Doryani's prototype work, even though it does great damage with lightning, the other damage types don't get the benefit of the increased lightning damage from having negative resists. So if you think about it in terms of the tooltip, when the arc was showing 192,000, you're actually doing like 400,000 if the monster is nearby, within your present aura. So it's a fun build to play. I had quite a bit of fun leveling, and honestly, the Act 4 boss, the guy who does all the area of effects and drops things on the ground from the air, he took me like 4 casts and he was dead. It was really something. I've played a few characters, and not many of them can do that kind of speed. But because of the scaling of armor and mitigation as you get higher in level, survivability became a big problem. And in order to use the Doryani's chest piece, you're eliminating the most powerful piece of equipment on armor that you can get, other than a shield. But you can't get spell ranks from shields. And yes, I could increase my armor, but my damage drops in the toilet. So it's kind of a wash with that. If you're sitting on a Doryani's chest piece, I think I'll and paused and then wasn't paying attention. I think I'll go back to town here. But if you're sitting on a Doryani's prototype and you're thinking about, oh, well, can this work? The answer is yes, but only until you get up to about level 78, and then no matter how much equipment you throw at it, there doesn't appear to be a way to eliminate the damage you take. There are items, desecrated modifiers that convert elemental damage taken into energy shield recharge, or not recharge, what's the word? Basically, it's an 8-second curve of your energy shield comes back, and it's only a percentage up to like 15%, I think it is. So that might help with the survivability a little bit if I got one of those on my shield instead of area of effect. But I don't think that it would be long-term viable, because all it takes is one damage over time that's lightning based, and you're instantly dead. So it's a bummer, because we're stacking so much negative lightning that we can boost the damage. That works great until you get a damage over time effect that does lightning, because that's not mitigated as a hit by your armor, which this isn't great, but it's not terrible either. Mitigation from armor is a pretty good affix. I use it on my Thorns Warrior, and he's running about 27,000 armor, I think it is, out of combat. And that can jump up to like 42, I think it is. And his mitigation for elements is tremendous, especially with resist stacking on top of that afterward. So the judgment on the Doryani's is really fun to play, leveling. Once you hit 78 or so, find something else to put in your chest slot. Maybe just switch over to the standard energy shield build, because if I equip a 700 energy shield chest piece here, my energy shield would be over 5,000 easily. Just out of curiosity, I got 50 energy shield on this offhand here, and that results in 250. So what is that? 5 times the amount. So yeah, if you got a 700 energy shield chest piece, 5 times 7 is 35. So that would add 3,500 to the energy shield, and that's a lot more survivability. And you can find your damage in other ways while still surviving lightning damage. Thanks for the watch, and if you would, hit that subscribe button, because I'm still only like, 100 subscriptions, and I'm never going to make any money at this channel. I enjoy it, but it helps people see the content if you are subscribed or you like the video. Comment it even. It'll help move it up in the algorithm. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good day.